Okay, hair growth. I've really dialed in my routine. I feel like I have my least amount of products that I need, but the ones that give me the biggest bang. Caveat, most people who do hair videos on YouTube have amazingly genetically blessed full heads of hair. I have fine hair. I don't have a ton of hair. This is my routine to retain the healthiest hair that I can. Also, since I tend to like my hair long, that makes it all so much more challenging. And these are the routines that I stick with that are working and honestly have the best hair that I've had in a couple of decades. Let's get into it. If that sounds good, go ahead, grab something to drink, grab a snack, put me on in the background, and let's chat hair growth. I have to hit this first point, and I'm not going to belabor it, but the one thing that we can do to increase stem cell activation, increase ATP cell activation, increase circulation, increase human growth hormone and growth factors coming to our cells, including follicular cells that are growing hair, is exercise. So these products and routines are only going to work as well as your system is working. The one thing I think that would be really great if everyone can think about is in general, for your general health, but also in terms of a hair conversation, hair growth, is getting a good blood panel, making sure thyroid, your ferritin, your iron levels are proper, vitamin D. Vitamin D supports all the hormones in our body, so that's super important. Hormones, a whole nother different subject, but getting a general health check to make sure that if you are experiencing some hair loss or hair thinning, that there's no other systemic reason. One to look at, and I'll list some tests on the screen, is your inflammation markers. If you have inflammation going on in the body, it's like the body is having a 4-alarm fire. And all the energies and stores are going to be going towards dealing with that. If it's chronic inflammation, basically the system is tired. So if we introduce something like a growth peptide, it's only going to really go so far when there's a 4-alarm fire going on somewhere else in the body, if that makes sense. So, of course, sound diet, exercise, and looking at your general overall health picture is a really important place to start. I know a lot of people are having good luck with minoxidil. Minoxidil is off the list for me. I look at the side effects and I get way too hyperfixated on the possibility of bloating, weight gain, heart palpitations. I'm out. And I'm generally out when it comes to medication. I love the fact that I'm not on any, and it's a point of pride and also just keeping my system sort of running as clean as I can. But growth factors, I have been using on this skin of mine low these last 15 years or so, and they're really a tried and true sort of hack treatment for me that I think has really done well. So the one that I have settled on, the one that I have been using for the last probably 4 years now, is the Calisum Growth Factor Professional System. In the beginning, they did send it to me. I thought, great, let's go ahead and try it. Growth Factors is right up my alley. I saw the biggest difference that I'd ever seen with anything that I'd used for my hair before, besides with the exception of maybe LED light, although this is even more potent in its ability to keep my hair in the growth cycle longer, to reduce the amount of shedding, to have the new hairs that I see coming in at the scalp kind of continually. It really helps that cell proliferation over time and hanging on to strands, which is really important for those of us who like to have long hair. Hanging on to those strands is really important. I recently ran out and I went a little bit longer than I normally do. And I would say maybe 3 months without it, and I started noticing the shedding. So I buy this myself. I use my own code, which actually helps a lot. It's 15% off. Now, let me tell you, not an ant was harmed in the procurement of these stem cells. No person, no animal was harmed. These are fragments and growth factor signalers that are all processed and cleansed, and there's no, tissue in here whatsoever. They are signaling peptides that when we go ahead and especially needling into the scalp, which sounds intimidating, it is not. I like Calcium's little stamper here. It's solid. It lasts so well. I use it through the whole treatment. One of these boxes will last me half the year. So what I've been finding is that I can buy this treatment system twice in a year. Now, honestly, comparing that to the cost of staying on a minoxidil, I think it's pretty similar. And I love this so much more because to me, it just fits into my vibe of like, not wanting to be on medication and certainly not wanting to have side effects, but also this works. It is a solid protocol in my routine. As far as the micro stamping or the derma stamping, studies show that just the needling itself can increase follicular activity, can increase new growth, and all the things that we want to be happening on the scalp. So when you couple the stamping with the stem cell factors, these signaling factors, you've got a really good combination. Now, in the beginning, you are going to be doing it more often, and then there's a maintenance phase, and that's how I can help like this box sort of last me for a full 6 months, and then it's time for me to go ahead and get another one. Absolutely worth my spend, especially since I'm so happy with it. I'm not exploring other serums. I'm not trying other things. This is just solid in my routine. I do alternate because calcium you don't use every day. In the beginning, you use it twice a week, and then you even spread it out further than that. But I do like having the One Skin serum just for in between, for sort of any time, maybe a couple of times a week that I can go ahead and put this onto the scalp. It doesn't have to be needled in. It might, of course, make the absorption a little bit better. I'll do both. I'll do just the serum itself. It's not sticky, doesn't interrupt my hairstyling or anything like that, doesn't have a smell. The OS1 peptide, it's coming in with a different mechanism of action, and what it's doing is reducing cellular senescence, clearing out almost dead skin cells that are actually increasing inflammation. So again, the idea of reducing inflammation and reducing those senescent cells so that everything can be firing better, stronger, younger. So I do like having this because, like I said, I don't always use the calcium. I can use this in between, and it's also a different mechanism of action. So I've got 2 different modes going on, and really in this video I'm doing 5 different things for hair growth, starting out with diet and exercise and all of that. So it's another one that I can add in, and a bottle, a large one like this, really honestly is probably going to last me the whole year because I'm using it once to twice a week. Here's something you may already be doing in your routine that you can bring in to increase at least around the hairline. When you are applying your tretinoin and even your retinol serums, go ahead and pull it all the way up to the hairline. After all, the hairline is one of those sort of signals of like health of the hair. When the hairline's receding, of course, it appears to look like we're thinning. So being able to keep new hair and thicker hair at the hairline is a lovely thing. Well, retinol or tretinoin has been shown to actually increase, again, proliferation, production of hair, new hair, and just, again, getting the cells to fire more youthfully, appropriately, and keeping activity going. So when I do put on my tret, I go ahead and bring it all the way up into the hairline, where those little Hairs are very fine. I want to try to keep them as healthy as possible. So your Tret can help with that. Now, I don't bring it through the whole head. I mean, I don't want to be ordering this tube every 2 weeks, but I will use it to sort of reinforce the thickness of my hairline. And it might be good to use in the nape of the neck too. And last, if you have any kind of an LED light mask, doesn't matter what it's for, go ahead and use that. Lay on that when you're lying down. Put it on your scalp as well as on your skin. And it will do what it does for our skin. It will do for the scalp. It helps to rev up ATP production, helps to fire up cell activity, and basically help the production of better, healthier, and new hair growth. So I go back and forth between LED and my laser light mask, which I do really love. And I couple that in last night since I got my calcium in and I hadn't had it for 3 months. I did a really good needling treatment and then coupled it with my laser light mask, and I'm back on the road to like boosting my hair growth and keeping my hair fall to a minimum. So that's what I'm doing. One of the things I love about dialing in a routine is I don't have that shopping envy where I'm always looking for the next thing. I just sort of invest in, I just know this is what works. I don't really need to look further and then have all those remorse products that we have where we got this little scalp serum or this little thing or this little that. And it's like, I think I'm going to stay set with what works and stop the experimentation. I didn't go into like shampoos and styling products. If you want that, I would love to talk about that. Go ahead and let me know. Other than that, that's what I'm up to. What are you guys up to? I would love to hear from you down in the comments. I'll meet you down there. Excited to see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.